Pokemon Detective Pikachu is directed by Rob Letterman and stars Justice Smith, Ryan Reynolds, and among others. And this is based on the popular video game, which is also called Pokemon Detective Pikachu, that came out in 2016, and also based on Pokemon in general, which is the massive franchise.
And I believe this is the first live action.
Yes, it is. It's the very first live action based on Pokemon. And in this story, we deal with this kid named Tim, who's played by Justice Smith, and he ends up going to look for his father, who actually
went missing.
And in this world, we discovered that these monsters, known as Pokemon, they coexist in our world. And basically, his father, Tim's father, was the partner of, because he was a cop, who was the partner of Pikachu, who's the popular monster of Pokemon and everything, and it's up to Pikachu to go with Tim to find out what happened to his dad. And as they go along the way, they also discover that there's pretty much a plot that's happening with some stuff that goes down later on with this creature known as Mewtwo, and they have to pretty much stop it or find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, here's some backstory. Now, as we said, this was based on the popular franchise as Pokemon, and I'll admit, when I was growing up, for a little bit of time, I'll admit that I kind of grew into Pokemon. I wasn't like a hardcore fan, but I remember collecting, like, playing some of or watching the animated shows of it, and my friends used to actually be, playing the games and collecting cards and stuff.
See, I was around a teenager, preteen, whenever the Pokemon hit its peak on like popularity. And I'm not talking about the shows because I never watched any of the shows, but this is back in the trading card days where you're like, I got Charmander or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I'm getting some of these names just mixed up. But anyways, I got this. And I went to some tournaments. My friends, I was surrounded by people who were fucking addicted to it. The only way I joined it was by the trend of collecting cards. You remember how, like, you always collected them and you would get the hologram card, you were the shit.
Yeah.
And I did my fair share of collecting, but at the same time, I joined the trend and I really, truly didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
I just watched my friends play it because they had tournaments set up in my town, that and Magic. And I used to go watch my friend Kurt go and play Magic. Until that kind of went away and at this comic book store, and then I started going to watch the Pokemon tournaments and actually watching how they do them with the games and stuff.
Yeah,
with their cards, because the cards were meant to be play too.
Yeah,
and trade around and stuff. And other than that, other connection was Super Smash Brothers with Pikachu
on the N64 and all that.
N64. Other than that, I wouldn't say that I was much of a fan. It's kind of weird that whenever I watched this movie, I couldn't remember some of their names, I do remember the cards.
Yeah, I do
every
too.
time they're showing all the cool Pokemons in the movie.
Well,
so it's like that brought back memories, even though I don't know, like,
the whole like lore and the world that they set up. Yeah, I got you. I'm the same way. Like growing up, I around the time before I got into junior high, I actually remember like watching various stuff of Pokemon. I remember watching the first movie from like '99 when it came out, and then the other anime one called Pokemon, the movie 2000. Because around the time when I was hanging out with my cousin David, and he was a big Pokemon fan, so he would love everything related to Pokemon, so he would have the cards and stuff like that. So while I wasn't really familiar with the entire world they set up with Pokemon, I still kind of got into like the different monsters and stuff that they had. And I consider myself just a general fan. Back then.
Yeah, I believe Pokemon's Japanese.
It is. Well, actually, believe it or not, which is funny because Pokemon itself was actually created from a game that was created back on the original Game Boy.
Yeah.
Because before it became a lineup of cards and stuff, it was a video.
Clever with that.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They end up actually starting out as video games called Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Red, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Remember those?
Oh, I remember in Game Boy where you had the cool colors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Game Boys, like, I remember some of my friends had red, and some of my friends had blue and yellow was one. Oh my god, it just brought back memories. I just now remember that shit.
So after following that, you know, Pokemon became a huge franchise over the years. And around the time when I was in probably around junior high, I kind of fell out of Pokemon because there was actually a point where quite a while I was actually more into Yu-Gi-Oh! Than I was with Pokemon.
Which is funny because Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually knocked out Pokemon out of the top spot.
Yeah.
And that's when the cards were, but I was way in my high school at the time.
Yeah,
and graduating, so I don't know shit about that.
Yeah, but the world they set up with Pokemon over the years, it's kind of like really left a, you know, I've kind of like forgotten about it over the years.
Well, we got to bring this since we're talking about the history of Pokemon. It did kind of have its revival back in the phones.
Yeah, the Pokemon Go,
where you went and looked and you would see it on your phone, like there it is, I'm gonna catch so and so.
Yeah.
And
so it was popular that they brought it back. They brought Pokemon back in the mainstream.
Well, they brought it back in the mainstream. Shit happened where people were getting killed playing the game, not watching. You know, they were so addicted to it, they were actually getting ran over, and it caused quite the controversy. And I think that they shut it down.
I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about it.
Well, it was popular. It went on for like 2 years, where like it was pretty much Fortnite of that year. And then everybody was playing it, but a lot of people actually got killed playing it.
Yeah, and
I mean, doing dumb shit, not paying attention to their surroundings.
Yeah, and so with this film that was coming out, it got me a little interested because, well, the thing that got me interested was it wasn't necessarily that it was really Pokemon itself. I mean, other than the fact that, you know, I have nostalgic memories of it, but it was mainly to do with Ryan Reynolds because from the trailers that we got, it really seemed like, in a way, he's pretty much playing Deadpool, but in a kids movie. If you kind of if you kind of break it down,
I was looking forward to that, but I also, after watching the whole trailer, I was like, you know, we see a lot of like what you see in like movies like Zootopia and all that, where they're doing that very detective, but in kids forms type thing storyline. And it felt like they were doing something different and not trying to make a Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
So I was really interested in that.
And that's pretty much what this movie actually sets up. And so going to the trailers for it, I actually was like, okay, I'll give it a watch.
And not only that, especially in 3D, I wanted to see it.
Yeah, that was really got me into what we want to see it. And after upon seeing the film, I can say that it was doable. Like it was good, but
decent,
it was not like overly like. It wasn't great, but it's still as a love letter to the Pokemon universe, and actually,
let's just say this: it could have been from like Dragon. Oh, I hear stories about Dragon Ball Evolution. It could just think that you look at shit like that in Last Airbender and be grateful that it's not on that bar. Level, so while it is good, it's decent, but I have flaws with the film.
Well, yeah, I do too.
And there's going to be one thing that I think plays a major role into why this film is very mixed with me, while still watchable and good.
Yeah. So to get my pros out of the way, I'll say the biggest highlight, the biggest highlight for me that stands out the best is Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds to me is not only he's very charismatic as Pikachu, because what threw me off with the movie was going into it, I had no idea Pikachu was going to be voiced by a regular, actor. Because if you, back in the day when I used to watch Pokemon, from what I understand, Pikachu can't talk.
He's like Groot.
Yeah,
where
he just
says his Pikachu.
Name. He just says his name, Pika Pika.
Pika.
So when I heard that he was cast for the role, I was like, that's kind of weird. How are they going to have Pikachu talk?
Well, Vin Diesel voices Groot, so I thought that's what they were.
That's what they're going to do. Yeah, but apparently in the game, if the game that's based off, Pikachu actually talks. He actually talks normal.
And not only that, there's a purpose which we won't spoil for anybody. There's a reason why he can talk.
Yeah,
and none of them, the other ones can.
Yeah,
except for Mewtwo.
Yeah. And even the little guy that's part of Team Rocket. You remember those guys?
Yeah.
But anyway, so he really he was great. He really had so much. He had me laughing a lot. He he really brings so much energy and so much like compassion to this character that I really love.
And another pro I'm going to add to it, which I agree with him on, Ryan Reynolds being the major highlight, was I loved how the CGI, everything was rendered perfectly in this world. I love the world. What is it called again?
It's something called City.
Something City.
Yeah,
it's a real. They use it in
fictional
Pokemon.
city.
Fictional city, but it almost looks like Tokyo.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Neo Tokyo kind of look to it.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Blade Runner-ish, which is cool. But the way the Pokemons, it was neat seeing all the ones I used to see in my card growing up, but they were rendered so perfectly. Sonic Hedgehog needs to take fucking notes.
Yeah, we saw that.
But this is how you're rendered very well.
Yes,
this
definitely.
This is the epiphany of how you do it.
What I appreciate that too is last year we had a movie called Christopher Robin that came out, which used very similar visuals they use for the way they look very animal-like, where they have kind of like fur look.
Well, they did that because
for Pikachu.
What they did with the Christopher Robin, I liked what they did with that was they made them look old stuffed animals because that's what that show was based off of. Stuffed animals.
But they used a similar format here where they made like Pikachu look kind of reminiscent of like furry, you know.
Yeah, you could see the layers and they looked realistic. And I thought it was I loved how that Charmander, the dragon? Charizard, that's what it is. I don't know why I'm saying Charmander. But Charizard, it was cool seeing the classic cards I used to have.
Squirtle.
Because I actually used to have a Charizard, I think a hologram one.
Yeah, I think I had action, or my cousin had an action figure of them too.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So it was cool seeing the classics.
And we do also, not to give a spoiler, but we also get to see the classic, catching the ball that collects it in and stuff.
Yeah,
so
catching Pokemons. Cool. There's a lot of foreshadowing in this from everything. I really appreciate from all the generations. You got to think that Pokemon has had different quite generations. You had the Game Boy era, which it pays tribute to. Then it has a thing where they pay for the shows and for just homages, not really foreshadowing, but homages. Yeah. But then they have a thing where they kind of pay a quick thing to Pokemon Go, the game, where you're trying to look through and then throwing the ball and trying to catch. Yeah. So basically, it's like they're playing for all the generations.
Yeah, they even because there was also Pokemon the Battle Stadium or whatever on the N64 as well. They have like a brief scene with that in this that I thought was really cool. Yep. So there's that, and also like you were going back to the world building set up, I found the most fascinating because just the idea of all these like monsters coexisting with humans and stuff, it sets up a lot of possibilities and so much that you want to see more in this world.
Yeah.
And then also I will say that there is something that they revealed toward the end that I thought, while it was predictable, I still thought the way we learned from it, I thought was kind of clever in a certain way.
The only twist I liked was what that revealed.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
with not the villain,
but Pikachu.
With Pikachu, that ending that was really heartwarming. That was a cool, touching thing they did. I didn't care that twist of villain was the thing.
No, I know that.
But anyways,
I'm talking about the other part.
Yeah, the other part. Yeah.
This is now pretty much where we're getting to our pros. Cons, sorry.
Yes.
So as much as the world building that they've set up here is very great, and I would love to see them do more in the future with this. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the story they go with this route, it is really
watered down. What they did was they played it safe and went formulated. Unfortunately,
very
standard formulated, and I will say that I got quite bored on not everything, but there was good chunks. I was wanting to really get I was hoping they would write more of a complex detective story where you're really digging. You gotta go over here and there and there.
Yeah.
They keep it settled to only stretch. All right, they're really got to look for this, and it goes throughout half the movie. Then they go to their point B where it's going to take up another majority of the movie, and then they get to their end. So it's like 3 things they dig into. It's like, they could have done something like Zootopia did something clever where it was constant twist.
That's what I was thinking
for an animated movie.
Yeah,
and that's what I was hoping they were going to do with this, but to keep it safe and settled. And I got bored.
Yeah, it wasn't a great start like this because when you have a straightforward detective story which uses pretty much every cliche by the book with going from looking for clues and the things that are done in a detective movie, it's everything that you predict. And even the reveals they do with this is so fucking predictable. I question why did you have to do that? I mean, I knew that. And it doesn't help. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's an actor in this that I won't reveal that if you've seen him in other films, you fucking know this person is a villain.
They could have not picked a guy who played more villains than any fucking actor to play obvious fucking villain.
Yeah.
Like, I can see that coming. Don't try to trick me with that little trick you're about to do right there.
Yeah.
Something, I can already tell you there's an issue going on right here.
Yeah.
I can already tell it because it's so fucking obvious.
Exactly.
And that's where this movie really failed at. Another thing I gotta say is the girl actor.
Yeah.
There's Justice, what's his name? Smith, which I hated him in Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah,
because he was annoying as shit. This one, I liked him. He just didn't have much story.
His character was very poorly done. So generic and bland.
Bland, like, he wasn't emotioned about his family or anything.
Yeah.
But basically, he has a partner that pops up kind of a few times in the beginning film. She's
like a reporter, basically.
Yeah, a reporter, just in and out, and then she finally becomes part of the story halfway and finishes off with them. This woman couldn't act worth shit.
And I've seen this actress before. If you remember Paranormal Activity 4, she was the main girl in that. Mm-hmm. And even in that film, and from here, like she really, the way that she delivers her lines, it's almost like she's in a fucking stage play. It really comes off as so hammy, and really just I'm not. It's so unconvincing.
And honestly, do you think in a way they try to Japanese her? In a way, the way she looks all animated, where she's kind of got squinted eyes, like they're almost Japanizing
I'm not really
her.
Sure, I couldn't really tell.
Personally, if that's the way, if they were going to go that route, they could have gotten that girl from fucking Last Jedi to play.
Yeah,
maybe
I could have seen that.
She probably would have done a lot better.
Probably,
than this fucking girl.
She's a better
this girl was pretty terrible.
Yeah, and there was that, and then also just the way that the movie, just the 3D, I also had a problem with too. Yeah. Because while there are some cool shots they hear a couple of times, really, the movie really didn't have to be in 3D. Other than you take the glass off, you can see the 3D's blurry. A lot of times, I'm just watching it, I'm just like, I'm not really
nothing really popping out. Like, there's parts, like glass shards or slow blow-ups and stuff. You figure all that stuff's going to come at you. It really doesn't. Nothing really hardly comes to you. It's like, did they fucking not focus on the 3D much on this? Basically, I'm saying to you guys, don't pay the extra money to go see this. You're not missing anything in 3D.
Yeah. So with that being said, with what they have here, there is potential set up that I would like to see them continue on. And if they get Ryan Reynolds to come back to play Pikachu in the future, I would be down with that with this world. But unfortunately, it wasn't a great start. So with that, I'm going to give the movie just a high average Joe on the Film Phreeks meter.
I'm going to agree with him. High average Joe and a Film Phreeks meter.
Fair enough. For those of you who have also seen Pokemon Detective Pikachu and also have played the games and all the other media of Pokemon, let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. And if you like what you see here, you can feel free to like and subscribe to our channel and check out some other reviews here and our website at filmphreeks.com. And we'll be seeing you in our next review. We'll see you later. 18 minutes.